All right, let's get back to it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Sunny Side. I'm Sonny, and in this video right here, we're going to look at Chiron and its effect, or how the path of Chiron has mimicked the coronavirus vaccine in the last little while. Anyways, let's do it. You guys can fast forward the video if you like, or watch it on fast forward. What else is going on? For those who don't know, I'm a professional astrologer, and I do tons and tons of readings. I used to write the horoscopes for many newspapers. Used to write horoscopes for the newspapers in Canada, and now I'm doing a lot of YouTube and Facebook stuff for you guys. All right, let's get down to it. So what's the deal with Chiron? Let's start this. What's the deal with Chiron, and how does it relate to COVID? Now, before we move forward, I just want to tell you guys, before I show you the graphs and I show you the chart and everything, I just want to explain something. Chiron is known as the wounded healer in astrology. I'll show it to you. In astrology, this guy right here, he looks like a little key. This guy right here is Chiron. Chiron is known as the wounded healer. In astrology or in mythology, he was a doctor, and he tried to help, and he was a centaur who was a doctor, you know, half horse, half man guy, and he's, you know, he helps people. He's a doctor, but he was poisoned and he couldn't cure himself. So it's called the wounded healer. Chiron is where you help other people in this world, or how you want to help other people in this world, or how you heal other people in this world. But it's also the part of the chart where you yourself are actually wounded. So when your Chiron is activated in your chart, you're going to feel emotionally wounded, depending on where it is in your chart. Now, if someone highlights your Chiron in relationship astrology, there's a sense of healing that happens between the two people. And in Magi astrology, Chiron is one of the major indicators for Cinderella transits, for making lots of money, for people breaking up in relationships. It's an important celestial orb for certain types of astrology. So, everybody cool? What's the deal? What does that have to do with the COVID or the Rona vaccine? Well, right around the time of July 11th, Chiron was going retrograde. Chiron was retrograde. Now, what does it mean when a planet goes retrograde? So forget about it appearing to move. Okay, so it appears to move backwards in the sky versus other planets, but it's not the point of what we're talking about here. A retrograde planet, when a planet is retrograde, there's a tendency to kind of go all in on that planet. When Venus is retrograde, let's say, we become very loving and we really want things. We desire. You know, Venus is desire. We really want it. So when Venus is retrograde, when Venus is what else? So let's say you want to buy a car, but Venus is retrograde. Well, when Venus is retrograde, you're going to get a yeah, but. Oh, I really want this car, but it's the wrong color. And but it's the wrong color. It doesn't really work, but you really want it. It's a good everything else. So you do it. And it often doesn't work out. And that's Venus retrograde. When Mars is retrograde, Mars was just retrograde. We want to do something, we do it. Mars was retrograde during much of the voting in the last American election, and you had record historic turnout because Mars is retrograde. Do it, enthusiasm. But then Mars goes direct, and you're like, what the hell just happened? How did this all get screwed up? Maybe we rushed too fast. Maybe we got to do this. In addition to that, when Mercury's retrograde, you're thinking, wow, this is a good idea. And as it pertained to the American election, yeah, most of the early voting in the United States was under Mercury retrograde. Seems like a good idea. But then when Mercury went direct, half the country didn't understand how to count what was going on with the ballots. So Mercury. Now the same thing is happening with Chiron. So Chiron was direct, and the COVID was here. And Chiron is the doctor of the Zodiac. And Chiron is like trying to heal. When Chiron went retrograde right around July 11th, everybody's, let's try this, let's heal up like this, do this, stay at home, crackdown, lockdown, crackdown, a lot of the words down this summer. Right around July 11th, stay home, try this. You got to do all of these things. You have to do all these things to halt the coronavirus. And that was happening around July 11th. And that happened for a bit, but Chiron is retrograde. So just like Venus retrograde is an example, you buy the wrong color car and you got to go and do it again. Or the Mars is retrograde, you're very enthusiastic about something, but you got to do it again. Or the Mercury is retrograde and everybody thought it's a good idea, but it takes longer to count the votes. With Chiron retrograde, it looked like a great healing process was about to begin. It seemed like a good idea. It appeared to work, but it didn't. And then the curve went, whoa, way up, because it didn't work. And then Chiron went direct, right? And as Chiron is going direct, the first doses of the coronavirus are being presented to the people of the world, right? The first vaccine is coming to the world at the time that Chiron is going direct, which is right now. And I'll show you guys. Let's have a look at some charts. So watch this. And I pulled up this. This is a covidtracking.com. Lots of different charts. Lots and lots of different charts. Right here, right around July 11th, everybody starts clamping down, right? Everybody starts locking down right along July 11th. And then the results come in, and you can see the curve goes down. Chiron retrograde. Chiron goes retrograde, and the curve comes down. Then we find out that Chiron, it didn't work, and it's gone crazy until now when the vaccine is available. Now watch this. All key metrics. You can pull any chart up. Well, I don't know about any chart, but the ones I'm pulling up, look at this. Same time period, right around July, Rona goes down. It levels off. Right around July, August, middle of July, August, right? Rona goes down. Right around July, right around here, it goes up, and then it comes all the way down. Right here, it goes up, comes down. And then it goes, woo, on anything you want to do. Pick any of these charts that have it. It's right there. It's right there. It's right here. It's right there. You can see it on the graphs. And that's the deal. And then as the wounded healer moves forward, we have the vaccine, or we have the coronavirus is making we can see very clearly the spread of the virus. The spread of the virus, is very much follows the Chiron cycle in the sky, and that's the action. It doesn't necessarily indicate. Now, Chiron goes retrograde and forward all the time. So the onset of the coronavirus itself, you see, astrology is not really it's not that difficult. But you have to get the right planet, you have to get the right combination, you have to look at the right house, you have to look at the right sign. And when you get the right information, it's pretty easy to read. But you have to find the right information. We don't always know the right how to put it together, and sometimes we get it wrong. And I'll give you an example, a really simple example. Your car. Like, where would your car fall in astrology? This is going to be on the level 2 astrology exam. It wasn't in the first exam. It's going to be in the level 1 for the guys who study astrology with me in the class. But what's your car? It's a possession. You own your car. That's the second house. That's your car. But driving your car to get somewhere is the third house. So, you have to know where it falls. And same with the Rona and with everything else in astrology. So when you're looking at astrology, you got to find out where it is. A lot of people were talking about Jupiter, Saturn. A lot of people were talking about Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn, Pluto. the onset of the Rona last year, or like 3 years ago, when I know last year I did a video here on YouTube, and I think 3 years ago when I was in Vancouver, I did a live stream talking about the Rona coming. That was every time Saturn conjuncts Pluto. That is the onset of a major health situation. Saturn conjunct Pluto brings the health problems. The last time we had Saturn conjunct Pluto was at the time of AIDS was introduced to the world. This time, Saturn conjunct Pluto, we have the coronavirus. It's fairly textbook, and it's why it was so easy for astrologers to predict it. Jupiter-Saturn is a different thing. Jupiter-Saturn is more of a changing of the guards. Saturn is karma, and Jupiter is expansion to the karma. So those who have negative karma are going to really feel it. Those who have positive karma is going to feel it as well. So deal with the deal. So you got to deal with your karma. Like, that's just straight up. But neither Jupiter-Saturn nor Pluto-Saturn or Jupiter-Pluto, and Jupiter-Pluto happens every 12 years. Jupiter-Pluto happens every 12 years. That tends to be a financial indicator. So let me just do a quick recap here because I'm all over the place. Saturn-Pluto, major cycle, right? That's every 32 to 37 years it happens. So say 35 years, you'll have a health crisis. Pluto-Jupiter, economic crisis. Saturn-Jupiter, you're going to have a big dose of karma is coming your way. And that's how the action works. In addition to all of that, we have Chiron skulking around in the background trying to heal everybody and get everybody sick and messing it all up. Chiron was heralding, Chiron was mirroring the cycle of the coronavirus. But it kind of goes in the other direction, right? Chiron went retrograde and everybody's like, I'll try this to heal each other. And so we did. And I just showed you in the graph that we did. And it didn't work because it's retrograde. And now that Chiron is direct, the vaccines come out. And that's the action. All right, guys, and that's the action. I hope everybody liked this. The video is a little bit blah, 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 blah. It's nice to be back on YouTube. Please share the video. And if you want a personal reading, just hit the PayPal link in the description box below. With that, from TheSunnySide.net, I'm Sonny, wishing everyone the absolute best of a super beautiful week. And I'll see you guys soon.